As you guys know, I'm in sales. I live, breathe, and eat shit sales. That's all I do. That's all I think about. I'm addicted to this game of sales. Today, we're going to be reacting to a video by one of the GOATs of sales in the YouTube game, Patrick Bet-David. This is a great video. The untold truth about your first year in sales, 10 things you need to know. I've been in sales for the past 2 years now. I'm going to let y'all know if this is actually factual or not. Let's get right into it. Let's go.
Ever wonder why 90% of salespeople don't make it within 5 years? Meaning real estate, insurance, it doesn't matter what you do. 5 years later, 90% don't make it. Only 1 out of 10 makes it. Why is that? By the way,
he's not lying. I worked in a sales job. It's a revolving door. Revolving. People show up. They're so excited. I can't wait to start this new opportunity. I can make this amount of money. A month later, man, I don't think this is for me. The leads suck. The managers suck. This and that. It's facts. It's facts. And the thing is, most people aren't built for it. They literally are not. People aren't built to take the risk that you do take in sales. You have to be wired a different type of way. Shout out all my salespeople. More into the video.
I want to manage expectations with you. Most people who get into sales, they have no idea how hard it is. This thing is hard. So if you're not in the mood for somebody to scare you off from sales, skip this video. But if you want the truth, I'm going to give it to you today.
100% of fact. People do not know how hard it is to be in sales. They think it's so easy. They see the commission checks. They see the lifestyle that people post on Instagram. It's not easy, bro. You're talking to someone that's really ate a lot of shit in this industry of sales. Let's get right back into it.
So stick around till the very end to get the PDF of today's content as well as tips on how to make it past your 5 years. But let me get right into it. First, 5 warnings. 5 things you need to know about before you get into sales. Number 1, it's harder than you think. By the way, 10 times harder than you think. Mentally, emotionally, it's going to be frustrating, agitating. You're going to go through it. You'll be tested. You don't want to call people back because people didn't call you back 4 times. You have to learn the script of words. It's so annoying at first because it's harder and you're not accustomed to it. Number 2, it takes a lot longer to make money than you think. Some industries are different, but it takes a lot longer for you to make money than you think. Point number 3, you're going to make a lot less money at first than you think. By the way, most people get into sales because somebody sold them a dream, right? Oh my God, I want to have that guy's life. I went into it because somebody sold me the dream. I want to one day have the life and the cars and travel and freedom and all this other stuff, right? And then what you don't realize is that guy paid the price for many, many years until he had the lifestyle that he has today. So for you, manage expectations, knowing at first you're going to be underpaid for a long time, and don't be disappointed. We all go through that phase.
When it talks about being underpaid, it's really 50-50. Like me personally, right? I came out of high school. I got a pretty decent sales job for a pretty decent company, Choice Home Warranty. Shout out to that first video I made ever on this channel. One of the first videos. I would say my checks were all right, bro. Like my checks were around $1,000 to $1,200. Let's do the math on that. That's $1,200 every 2 weeks. I was like a beginner, right? 1,200, divide that by 80 hours. That's $15 an hour at first. And at the time, this was 2022, 2023, around that time. So a minimum wage, you could probably make 16, maybe 17 bucks an hour, right? But I knew I was taking a pay cut and I was investing in a skill set that would pay me for the rest of my life. If you do not have a long-term mindset with sales, this shit's gonna fuck you, bro. I'm sorry, bro, to say it like that bluntly. It's really gonna fuck you up. You have to really think long-term when you get into sales. You can't get looped in. You can't be sold the dream of making the money right away. You have to go into it expecting that's gonna take 1 to 2 years to really make the money that they're pitching you. Let's get right back into it.
Number 4, you're going to have a lot of sleepless nights thinking about sales. You're going to go to sleep saying, oh my God, is this person going to buy tomorrow? What if they change their minds? This person changed their minds. What do I do with this? I was expecting this $1,000 commission. What am I going to do to pay my bills here? I need to get them. You're going to go through those nights. The anxiety, mental, emotional, it's tough. You're going to go through it. And last but not least, your friends, family, spouse, everyone's going to ask you, how much money have you made? How much money have you made? How much money have you made? Why are you doing this? Why'd you start to do this? You had a good job. Why'd you choose to? Everybody's going to ask you, and this whole test of these 5 warnings I gave you, you're supposed to go through it. Here's why. Once you make it past these 5 areas and you overcome it, your skin is thicker, you can handle more, you become a leader, and somehow, some way, based on your work ethic, you improving, you getting better, attitude, all of that stuff, all of a sudden the floodgates open in sales for you, and you wake up and you say, I never thought this is what was going to happen to me. That's kind of what happened to me, but you got to go through it. So if you're still sticking around to watch the content, let me share with you what things you could do to help you win the game of sales, especially after your first year. Number one, if you're going to do sales, go and seek out the best leader worth duplicating. The market's filled with a lot of average salespeople. The market's filled with a lot of average sales leaders. But the market's also filled with a lot of great salespeople and great sales leaders. You find the right sales leaders worth duplicating, the chances of you winning not only increases, but the speed and how quickly you win also increases. So choose an industry. Say you're going to do real estate, you're going to do digital marketing, insurance, finance, stocks, whatever it is, fine. Choose that industry. Stay in that industry. Don't keep jumping industry to industry to industry. Rather, within that industry, seek out the best mentors to work with.
So when he talks about finding the best leaders, I could say that's probably one of the best skills I learned how to do initially, right? I knew how to sniff out the bullshit. I could tell right away if this person, this manager that I'm listening to, talking to, trying to get mentored from, is a winner or not. I've had sales managers that were lazy. That's an automatic red flag. But I've had sales managers that were kind of a dickhead at first, but I grew to, really fuck with them just because of the respect I gained for them, of their skill set. And I get it. Like sometimes when you really feel like the man, you're gonna walk around like you're the man on some Kobe shit. Kobe was not known for being a nice guy. MJ was not known for being a nice guy, but they were known for being the best basketball players. So he's speaking facts, bro. The best thing to do is just to find who's the top salesperson, the top manager, and just get close to them, get them to like you. Do whatever you can to be on their good side because it's gonna pay you dividends the amount of time that they're gonna invest in you. Let's get right back into it.
Number one, in the tip you're gonna get. Number two is the following. Since you know, and I know that this thing's gonna be hard mentally and emotionally, what worked for me is over and over and over again, I read autobiographies and content about people that persevered. Like even this one, the book of the month for my sales guys, I have 20,000 plus insurance agents. This one, the book we're reading, is a book called Endurance. This is a book about you lasting. This is a book about you being able to go through tough times. You need to feed yourself so much of that because your friends, your family, your cousins, your girlfriend, your boyfriend, your husband, your wife, they're all putting so much fear. Babe, why are you doing this? Babe, why don't you go back to your job? Babe, why don't you go back to doing this? You need to.
For me, my parents, why don't you go back to school? Why don't you go back to school? But I promise you, once they saw the commission checks, that's when the respect came. And that's what's gonna come for a lot of people. A lot of times when you start some shit, you really can't have any animosity to these people because they're your loved ones. They want what's best for you. Naturally, they want the most thing that's safe for you. So you can't get tight at them for not, initially seeing the vision. But that's when you have to prove it to them like, hey, when I say I'm going to do something, when I see the vision in something, it's worth believing in. It's worth believing in me because I can really get shit done. And when they see the results, that's when they're going to start respecting you.
To almost fight off all that negativity with positivity, they can make it in sales. Point number three, whatever product you're selling, do whatever you can to sell yourself on the product. Before I give you point number four, if you were in the sales office I was in Encino from 2002 till 2005, you would have found me all over the office with a role-play buddy, role-playing scripts. It didn't matter what it was. We would role-play scripts and objections. We'd sit in a room for 1 hour after 9 o'clock at night while everybody else is gone, and I would give an objection, and you'd overcome it. Then I'm like, I think we can come out with a better way to overcome it. I would give it, you would give it. I would give it, you would give it. Oh, that was good. Then we write it down. And so let me try this one. How about this one? How about that one? That's the perfect one. How about that? How about this? How about that? We role played so much until any objection that people asked throughout the day, I could do with my eyes closed. I can do it with my eyes closed today, even though it was in 2003, 2004. So find yourself a role play buddy and role play with them constantly until you can overcome all the major objections without even thinking about them. Point number five, when it comes down to prospecting, too many times people, all they think about what prospect is, let me send an email on LinkedIn. Let me DM this person. Let me go out there and prospect at an event. Let me do some business. Let me do this. Let me do that, right? So
that's me.
Everybody they look at as a customer, but I want to kind of give you a complete different perspective. There's nothing wrong with looking at everybody as a customer. But think about it this way, okay? Imagine you like this 22-year-old girl, okay, and you're 25, 26 years old. and you want to date her, and you go into a room and you spot her, okay? So she's the customer, like, I want her, she's the customer, right? Okay, no problem. Then there is a 58-year-old woman over here you have no interest in because all you're thinking about is a 22-year-old. But what you don't know is that 58-year-old woman is her mentor, her mom, her auntie that she admires the most, that if you win her, she'll put in a good word into the 22-year-old, and then she's gonna go on a date with you because she'll make the introduction. So rather than going 22, you go to the 58-year-old, you talk to her, you get her, what, can I get you something, ma'am? Is there anything I can get you? Oh, wow, you're so sweet. Yeah, you know what, I would like them, no problem, let me get you a drink, here you go. Thank you, enjoy your evening. And then you walk away, that fellow right there got me a drink. What a nice, hey, let me introduce you to my niece, let me introduce you, and then boom. So, Pat, where are you going with this? Here's where I'm going with this. I would go networking for my main referral source influencers, okay? And I took care of them as much as I could. Whatever they wanted, I took care of them because I knew they were going to lead me to the customers that I wanted. Not just once, not just twice, not just 3 times, for years and years and years and years to come. So, going back to it, as much as it's great to think about prospecting as in, let me go get the client, think about prospecting as in, let me find the influencers that can introduce me to customers for years and years.
So I guess in this case, it could kind of be like, let's say, for instance, I sell soccer gear, right? I sell soccer gear. Now, what he's basically telling us is like, yo, go get cool with the Sidemen. Go get cool with F2 freestylers. All these YouTube influencer niggas. Get cool with them so then that way they can refer you to their audience. I guess that's what would be the most useful in today's market, you know? But in the product that I sell, I don't know. There are a lot of people that I can go to for that. But yeah, let's get right back into it.
And years to come. Point number 6 is try to redefine in your own mind. Like, think about, when you think about what a salesperson looks like and how they work and how they talk, try to redefine that. Like, oh, to be great in sales, you have to be a car salesman. No, and there's nothing wrong with that, but no, that's not the personality. When you think about a salesperson, to me, a great salesperson is one who asks the right question, is a great listener, who's coming from a place of wanting to help you as the individual that may be different than others and is able to tailor something that matches your needs, right? So think of sales that way. Don't think of sales as somebody who, you know, has everything is just perfect and put together and all this stuff. You know, I got a 3-piece suit on right now because I'm shooting a video with you. But believe me, I'm a guy that just went out there and I looked at it and said, I wonder how I can help this person. Man, you know, this person's slightly different than the other client I sat down with. Man, if they understood this product.
And this is 100% facts, bro. This is 100% facts. Because me, the way I became nice at sales, because when I didn't just spew out rebuttals after objection, right? And when I first talked to the person on the phone, I didn't just go into the script. Hey, my name is this. I'm from this company. Let me tell you this, and this about the company. No, one of the first questions I ask is, what are you looking for? Or how can we best help you out? Let them tell you how they want to get sold. You know how many deals I've closed by people just telling me how they want to get sold? That's how I closed one of my biggest deals on my first sales job. It was like a 2-prop, 5-year, and I didn't even convince her. I just asked her, hey, like, what happened with the other company? Why didn't you like them? She told me why. And then when I told her my pitch, I told her everything that was good about our company, about that specific situation that she went through that aligned with that, you know? So that's just speaking facts, 100% facts here, bro.
And if they said they want this can be, so, hey, you know what? After spending a lot of time, here's what I think would be a great product for you. These are the different things we can look at. But this is what I felt was great for you, but I want to open it up. What questions do you have on these products before I make the recommendations? This one I think is good for, you're taking a very consultative approach than just a slam dunk, I got to be able to be the best salesperson and push them, and I got to make them sign the check. That's in the movies. And quite frankly, those types of salespeople maybe worked in the 60s, 70s, 80s. They don't work that well today. And even if you close, you ain't never going to get referrals. And this whole name of the game is referrals. So salespeople like that, rarely customers become B-backs, And rarely do those customers give referrals. You want a lot of referrals. So redefine your image of what a salesperson looks like. This next one's pretty much a story of my life, and it has to do with follow-up. My confidence comes from follow-up. If you asked anybody that ever did business with me, they'll tell you Pat's biggest strength, who worked with me closely in sales, Pat's biggest strength in sales is follow-up. Here's why. Did you know 80% of customers who buy, they'll say yes, but you got to follow up 5 times before they say yes. But did you also...
Facts. And it's going to sound like I'm saying this for each company, but my last company that I worked for, the biggest deal I closed, the biggest deal I've ever closed, the biggest commission I made ever in one deal, one phone call, one 30-minute phone call was $900, right? The biggest deal I've ever closed, I followed up with this guy. He was rich. He was driving a Bentley, right? And this guy can't take shit personal, bro. He's fucking probably on millions, has multiple cars. Besides, whatever the point is, I followed up with this guy for like 2 to 3 months, every day, every week, every now and then. It's like, yo, what's going on? We are trying to close the deal, until I finally closed it on a Saturday morning that I decided to come into the office. And I made that huge commission. And ever since that day, I said I will follow up with each fucking prospect until they tell me no. Until they say, Alpha, stop fucking calling my phone. I did not stop calling them. So he's speaking 100% facts here.
Also know 44% of salespeople don't follow up.
They're tripping. They're tripping if they're not following up, bro.
Let me say this one more time. 80% of sales requires 5 follow-up calls before they say yes and you fill out the paperwork. 44% of the time, salespeople don't follow up after the first call. So they leave a message, oh man, she's not interested. How do you know? They didn't pick up or call me back. So wait, let me get this straight. To you, you define that as they're not interested? Oh yeah, of course. If they were interested, they'd call me back. Are you kidding me? Let me ask you a question. How many times, like right now, while I'm sitting here, I got 2 texts. I'm telling these guys, I got to go make these texts, right? I clicked on the text. It shows it's red. I may forget about it after this meeting because I'm in the middle of something. And if that person doesn't follow up, this text may be lost in translation. And that could end up being business for one of the people right now that just texted me, right? We make that mistake. You don't know that person forgot to call you back. That person maybe no longer checks messages or emails or texts, but you got to keep following up. Don't be discouraged when somebody says no or doesn't follow up with you or doesn't call you back. Don't take it personal. This isn't the dating game where you call them and you don't want to call too many times to seem desperate. You definitely don't want to be overly pestering your customer, but you do want to be a smooth operator and keep following up because chances are they'll eventually do business with you.
I made that mistake too, you know. I used to think like, oh, this person's going to think I'm too desperate because everybody who, you know, you trying to riz a shorty, feel me? You going to send a text, right? If she don't hit you back, you already know it's done. Like, it's clip. I can't be double texting. What the fuck I look like, right? Or you might think like, yo, I don't want to show like I'm fiending over her, this and that. Girls, and you, I do this for guys too. But in the sales game, that does not work. He's right though. You can't act like you're fiending for the deal because you get commission breath. That's what it is. But at the same time, you know, follow up. They're not gonna take it personally. They're busy. They may look at your text message and he's so right, and then someone else across the office is yelling at them. I've done it personally. Only when I started working in sales, I realized I started doing that to people, my friends, my family, my clients told me that. That's when I started like, you know, trying to be more on top of it. But it's not intentional. Don't take it personal, bro.
So you made it till the very end, even though I gave you the warnings, even though I try to scare you off, you still want more tips, no problem, more power to you. Today's content is in a PDF as well as 3 additional bonus tips below. If you click on the link below, you'll be able to get that PDF. On top of that, I did talk about referrals. If you want to get better at referrals, I made a video about 1.5 years ago or so, maybe a year ago, that gets into referrals in a very deep way. If you've never watched it, click over here to watch it.
Spitting facts. Literal facts right here. Great video. I'm going to tap in with y'all later. Peace.